the VAC did okay the medically assisted suicide thing. So that's part of their treatment in their VA system. The government of Canada approved all that stuff. So it is a legit option.
But wouldn't that be, I don't agree with it at all, but wouldn't that be along the lines of a veteran comes in and says, hey, I've made up my mind. I want to do this.
Yes.
And then they do that.
Yeah.
Not suggest it to somebody who's like, no, I want to live. Can you help me want to live more and not commit suicide? That there's two different things there. You know, I don't agree with, like I said, I don't agree with it at all. I don't agree with medically assisted suicide in any way, shape, or form. But since it's already there, I would think it would be like an unspoken thing unless the veteran brings it up.
Right.
Like, don't offer it as a treatment, quote unquote, method unless they're specifically asking for it, which I can understand how somebody can get to that degree of depression and wanting to end their own life. Many people have done it before.
I've been there myself.
Yeah, so have I.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those curses that you get as a veteran, I guess. And you don't have to be a veteran to be depressed or anything like that, but there is a high rate of suicides among veterans.
Yeah.
Regardless of nationality.
So according to this person that answered the phone, 22 a day was not enough.
He said that, or that's just what he's...
That's what I'm saying.
Right, okay. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. 22 veterans a day wasn't enough. And he bragged on the phone about helping other veterans work their way to suicide. And that he suggested this other man should seriously consider it as well. Oh, and I hate the Canadian government so much.
I do too. And there was that bill that Trudeau had announced about the no more sales of handguns in Canada. Yeah,
you don't have a right to bear arms in Canada.
Well, yeah, and that's the other thing too, is they don't have a Second Amendment like we do, so they're pretty much at the mercy of the feelings of the government. Yeah, it's just too bad.
Yeah, there's no Second Amendment. There's no free speech in Canada.
Yeah.
So, I remember when we were driving through Canada, it was Big Brothers everywhere.
Yeah.
There were cameras everywhere.
Was there? I've never taken a jaunt through Canada, to be honest. I've been on Canadian soil once, and it was during a deployment transition. So we flew out of Elmendorf Air Force Base and then went directly to a Canadian civilian airport. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember which one it was. I was probably sleeping in and out of it, but we were only there for a couple hours. So, I've been there, but I haven't been there.
Yeah, on our drive through, it was in the midst of lockdowns, COVID shenanigans and stuff, and we were all but confined to our vehicle the whole drive up through Canada. We were only allowed to get out of our vehicle to enter the location we're going to be staying the night, and then exit that location and move on from there. Aside from that, we couldn't go into any stores, couldn't go into any restaurants, couldn't go into any gas stations. And they ensured that if we did, that they would know, because there are cameras everywhere in Canada, on gas station pumps, on street corners and streetlights. There were cameras everywhere.
So are those connected to some sort of Canadian federal system for the CMPs?
The Mounties? I don't know. It's connected to some kind of government agency, because they're watching everybody and everything. It's just like it is in China. When I was in Hong Kong, on the street corners, on the light poles and posts in the street corners, you just see cameras everywhere, because in China, what they do is they have face recognition software in those cameras, and they basically track their citizens with that software. And I think it's a very similar situation in Canada. And this is just allegedly, this is my guess. But I just feel that that's what they're going through. So we were only places we couldn't even stop to go to the bathroom in a gas station in Canada. We had to go to the bathroom in basically outhouses that were along the highway route that we were taking, that were in the middle of nowhere. The only place that we could stop to go to the bathroom, no lights. And some of them didn't even have locks on the doors, so we had to stand guard.
That's ridiculous. No locks on the doors?
Some of them didn't. They were kind of run down, some of them. Yeah.
Speaking of Mounties.
You're under arrest. On what charge? You got nothing on me. Oh, no? Well, listen to this. Resisting an officer, assault and battery, trespassing, disturbing the peace, miscellaneous misdemeanors, public nuisance, traffic violations, going through a boulevard stop, jaywalking, triple parking, conduct unbecoming to a rabbit, nice looking chap, violating traffic regulations. Attention! Why, look at you. You call yourself a Mountie. You're a disgrace to the regiment. I'm gonna drum you out of the service.
Oh, goodness. Elmer Fudd.
Probably cut that last little section out of there, but...
Be very, very quiet.
You call yourself a Mountie.
Oh, boy. But, yeah. So, that's why I hate Canada more now. Yeah.
Well, probably about wraps it up for this show.
Yes.
It's been a rough one. We try to keep it lighthearted here a little bit, with just some humor every now and again, such as that last section there. Life's not all that bad. As long as you're still breathing, as long as you're still going forward, as long as you know the true king of this world, Jesus Christ.
That's just the way to focus on him and just keep pushing through.
I mean, we're not immune to this either. Sometimes it's easy for us to get overwhelmed. And I know it happens to me, especially with a lot of unknowns. But people have come through very difficult times in history. And we're no different than they are. We're just in a different time of history. And even if we lose our lives from natural causes or, quote-unquote, early, as it were, we know who our lives really belong to.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Anyway, God bless you all. Thank you for listening.
To Patriot Pravda.
God bless.
America.
You can run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down.